All right. Bet you're wondering what this fool is going to try to show you today. In here, I have my resident 383 block. Kind of been hanging around the barn here for the last, I don't know. Let's see, we're in 23, so probably 7 years, almost 8 years. Well, now it's time that she wants a home and wants to live again. So instead of spending a boatload of money to have a machine shop dip this and pull it apart to find out if the block is even savable, because it did get some moisture in it, we're going to go the cheaper route, and we're going to use some washing soda, the sodium carbonate, something like that, however you say it. And this is actually different than baking soda. You don't want to use baking soda. That's sodium bicarbonate. You can make this out of baking soda. And I don't think it's pretty hard. I think you just lay it on a sheet pan, throw it in the oven at like 300 degrees for like an hour. And it releases water molecules or some kind of magic. So we're going to use sodium carbonate washing soda. And we're going to use a battery charger. I got two cheap junk ones that I think I've had laying around for the last 10 years. I don't even know if they work. I guess we're going to find out. And if not, I have my good one sitting right back there. I know that one works. But I figure since this is going to be on for at least a day, probably maybe up to a week, I might as well use one of these junky ones that maybe look like they might have seen better days. They're not brand new anymore. And then what we got here, get this out of my way before I drop it and make it brand new again. To start off, this one's going to be my sacrificial steel. So that way, whatever rust comes off that block, it's going to attract itself to this. And this one I'm going to bolt up to the block. I already put a hole in it, because I don't want the terminals. Hey, this one's missing one. I guess I ain't going to use that one. Huh. This one the one missing? No, this one has both. This one's missing one. Guess I'm not going to use that one. Toss that to the side. All right, we're down to one battery charger we're going to try, and then we're off to the new one, newish one. I don't want the terminals to sit inside inside whatever concoction we're making up for the liquid here. So I'm going to bolt this lovely, nice, rusty piece of steel to the block, and I can clamp it so that'll sit on this end. In theory, you want as much of this around the block as possible because it's kind of directional. But since we really are kind of limited for space, because I got this bad boy from work for free. It's the best price right there. Anybody can tell you that. And all I did was cut the top off. As you can see, I was second guessing my measurements. So I actually went about an inch above the line that I measured. I do a little finagling to get the block in place, but she fit, she'll work. Since it's kind of round, I think maybe every day or 2 days I'm gonna have to get it out, maybe pressure wash it off, break some of the loose stuff that's coming loose off of it, clean up my sacrificial steel, reuse it. And as for the mix, it's like a half a cup of this for every 5 gallons of water. I'm assuming it's going to take probably about 15 gallons. So I'm going to measure it out with buckets, and then that way I know how much of this to mix in. And that's so the electrical current, this helps the electrical current flow through the water. Don't know how to speak anymore. Guess old age will do that to you. So while I set this up, I'm going to clean these up, kind of bolt everything together here. I'll clip in and show you up to this part. And let's get to it. All right. I settled on 8. I figured, well, that block's probably taking up more than 5 gallons of space. And since I cut the sides off, so I settled on 8, which would kind of make 4 cups of the washing soda. Key thing is, make sure it's mixed very well. So I actually put warm water. I've dumped some of it in, mixed it, dumped some in. And once they say it's caustic, so if it gets on your skin, to rinse it off. Naturally, I've splashed it on my skin. I'm not too worried about it. If I spray carb cleaner and stuff on my hand, a little bit of that ain't gonna hurt it for 2 minutes. But why I left the chain in here, 2 reasons. 1, so I can lift it back out, because I only got to loop it onto that end. And 2, because I couldn't get it off. Just how it's sitting in the bucket, I couldn't get it off, but I figured, well, that end of the chain's a little rusty too. Yeah, let it clean itself off. Now we're going to try this. Here's another key thing. Negative always goes to the piece you're trying to clean. You never want it the opposite way, and your positive is going to go to your sacrificial steel here. Well, let's plug it in and see what we get here. I don't know if this thing's going to work. I don't know what to put it on. Well, we're going to go 10 volt or 10 amp 12 volt auto. We're going to go charge. Let's see what we got. See if there's any sparks. Ugh. Plug it in. I don't think it's working. Come on. Nope, it actually is working on start. I'm waiting on the start switch, but 55 amp start, charge complete. Okay, that works. I'm gonna go charge. Ugh. What we got going on. Now this is working. You see these air bubbles? Not the ones that are on the block, but the ones that are just coming up. The ones that are floating up to the surface. Because there was already some on the block itself. Let me get my stirring stick. I can knock them ones off of the block. That way then you can see. See them rising up. All right in here. Bubbles rising. That means she's working. Now, you can see how rusty that is. Looks like the Titanic in there. We'll give it some time. Like I said, I think I'm gonna have to pick it up. Maybe pressure wash it off a time or two, and also spin it because it's directional. Either spin it or just slide it this way and switch ends. Bolt this piece to the front and then clamp this piece to the back on the drum. That way then, it should definitely work. And look how many air bubbles are coming up. Definitely doing something. And once this starts, if anything, what you need to do is add more water as it evaporates and stuff. The solution isn't going to change. That's already in the mix. That ain't going to leave the mix. So if after a day or 2 days, however long you're soaking it, if you got to add more water, you can add more water. It's not going to hurt it. And you can see my leak I got going on here. I'm going to try to silicone that up or something. Try tighten it up so it stops leaking. Or just add a little water and drain the container off. And give a thumbs up if you like it. And thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.